primetime games. That's what we do here on the Drive-Thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Is Denver Live Free Sports Picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. Remember those winners are professional handicappers over at Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Play. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us is Zawacky with us, Alex Smart, Shane Mickle, Wayne Scott in Las Vegas. It's Tony Brown, and of course, Damian Sosh with us today. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. Smart, Sosh, Brown, Mickle, Scott, Zawacky, then I will close this one out. NHL Game 5 on the board tonight. We got a couple from WNBA and a 15-game card for Major League Baseball that begins in about 5 minutes. We got the first game starting here in just a second. Let's go ahead and welcome in Alex Smart. You catch him over at Pig Dogs. Bring Alex in with baseball. Alex, what's happening?
How you doing, Tony? How's everything? Good?
Everything's going great. It's going great. Boy, this Red Sox, things can happen fast in baseball, right? Everyone was down to this Red Sox team somehow, some way. And they had the pitching come through, but the offense is starting to pick it up. And this is a team, there's still another, 3.5 months left of the regular season. Keep an eye on them. They're on the road here facing the Blue Jays. Red Sox favorite total 7.5.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking exactly what you said right now. And I don't think the market has completely caught up with the way the Red Sox are playing. It sort of surprised me when I saw the line open today around, I think it was around minus 120, $1.20. And, I looked at it right away. I said, hey, man, Hoke is a starter tonight. He's his last 5 starts. He's looked amazing. He has a 1.66 ERA on the road compared to 2.38 at home. This is where he really flourishes. And Boston's just playing great baseball. You saw what they did against the Yankees on the weekend. Stood there and punched it out straight up with what was one of baseball's hottest teams at the time. And so, like I said, Boston's 5-0 in Hoke's last 5 starts, and 166 on the road. Man, we're looking at a pitcher that's going to give them an edge on the mound. And Bissett, he's done decent work at home, but not great. I mean, a 3.00 ERA on the road and just 4.12 ERA at home. I'm looking at his FIP here, and I think moving forward, I think he's not going to be the pitcher that maybe his numbers have exhibited so far. Also, must be noted, the Blue Jays are not great as underdogs either. They've lost 18 of the last 25 as a dog. And, like I said, I keep on saying the same thing over and again. I don't think the Red Sox market price is sort of matched yet. So, I mean, let's go out and grab some money. Let's lay a little bit of money here and take the Red Sox.
All right, Alex here on the Red Sox laying the price here. The bats have been hot, and of course, back-to-back series here at home against the Phillies and the Yankees, winning 2 of 3, and each of them really catching people's attention in baseball now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I look at this Boston team, and at the beginning of the season, even last year, I looked at the team. I said, "This is a pretty good baseball team." But with baseball, and as well as anybody, baseball's a funny game, and injuries, a few just bad runs, and your season's over. But at any time, a team like this, a viable team, you go through the lineup, you look at the pitching, and you say this team can be a contender.
Yep.
And they can be. And right now, everything's just moving in the right direction for them.
Yeah, quietly, these starters are putting up some really good numbers. Again, when you're pitching in Fenway, you're going to need the bats to come through. Now we're starting to see the bats come through. Speaking of the bats, it's been on the opposite side here for Toronto, really struggling here, hitting against the division, and it's been a really struggle with that bullpen one, ER near 5 at home this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and also just from a money line perspective here too, road favorites of minus 130 or less are 105.83 this season. That's a 56% conversion rate with a decent return on investment. So, we're also looking at that angle and the better team, market underpricing them, and I'm just going here with Boston.
Yep, struggle with the Toronto not getting those extra base hits, less than 7.5 or fewer average per game. And when you think about the Toronto, you think about them mashing the baseball, the extra base hits, the slugging not happening. Red Sox here at the minus price tonight against the Blue Jays. All right, Alex, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, we do have baseball on board, 15-game card on the ice. We also have a Game 5 of the NHL Finals here tonight, as well as a few from the W. What do you have going over at Pick Dog Premium?
Yeah, I've got a WNBA selection on board for tonight. Side selection. I have Major League Baseball total, and I have one money line selection, and I have the money line on tonight's Edmonton, Florida NHL final, Game Five. Just another thing that you have to mention about Toronto, just before we leave this whole conversation, is you got to think about regression to the mean here with Toronto. And Toronto's a team we've got to look at going forward because if their pitching can match up and their hitting can suddenly come alive. Now, I mean, it's too good of a batting order to stay down for this long. So I'm thinking we got to watch the Blue Jays going forward here, and when the momentum begins, maybe do a little bit of tail chasing.
Yeah, keep an eye there. Of course, the bullpen's got to do better than fun ERA of 5 at home. That's going to be a sore spot for everybody there. The heads go down when they go to the bullpen, and that's the players get that sinking feeling when they go to the pen sometimes, and it can impact the team psychologically. So we'll see how they can handle it.
What do you think of their bullpen? What do you think of their bullpen, Tony? I just out of interest,
yeah, I mean, just for
my the bullpen.
Yeah, when you sit with an ERA over 5 at home, there's trouble there. And also, they're not, it's a combination of things. The starting pitching there on name brand is pretty good. But again, what we talked about with baseball, a lot has to go right. You need your defense, the batting, your bullpen, right? And the fact is, they're not getting the extra base hits. They're averaging less than 2.75 per game. Again, when you think of Toronto, you think of the big hits, the sluggers, the doubles, the home runs. Not coming in bunches this year, and they're not intimidating opposing. See, when you've got those slugging numbers up, you intimidate opposing pitchers.
Right.
And a lot of that has to do, when you intimidate the pitchers, then you get the guys between the ears that are weak who try to nibble, get behind, and then they get in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. It just, I keep on saying one final thing. Major League Baseball is probably the one sport that everything has to be in rhythm, or at least your averages have to be all the way through, from defense to hitting to the bullpen to pitching to really have, to really be at a top level like, the Yankees, Los Angeles Dodgers. And if you look all the way through there, a lot of people will just say, hey, man, let's just go with like with one angle or another, like a bullpen angle, top bullpens against certain teams and everything else. But, I just believe that baseball has to be, you have to have a complete game going.
A lot of layers. There's a lot of layers in the handicap, and sometimes handicappers, bettors, they get pitching, they get starting pitcher crazy, they get hitting crazy. They fail to take a look at each layer, and it's basically there's a lot of moving parts, and you need to look under the hood in all those areas.
100. Perfectly said. Thanks, Tony.
All right, you got it, Alex. Have a great night.
Goodbye.
All right, Alex Smart here on the drive to. Let's continue here on the show, guys. Let's take a look at the chat pick of the day. Looking at bounce back after yesterday. I know you guys were on the Mavs plus the points. So was I. All right, here we go. Tonight, we don't have this. We have this covered, but not in a full game mode. So we got Oilers and Panthers tonight. Oilers plus 139 is letter A. Panthers B is minus 156. Over 5.5 C, under 5.5 is D. That's our chat pick of the day. And of course, keep the picks coming in, and we'll recap at the end of the show. All right, throughout the show. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. We're going to welcome in Damian Sosh next. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Bring Damon in right now with more baseball coverage. We're going to be baseball heavy here throughout the summer. We're also going to have a lot of WNBA because we can now we have our system automated for WNBA as well. We may get as we get near the All-Star break some season win totals, NFL, college football. That'll be later, probably in July during the All-Star break. So we'll fill the program. There's enough baseball on the menu, and on those slow days, we'll start to bring in those NFL and college football season win totals for you like I said, we're not too far away from the Hall of Fame game. I think we're less than 2 months away, right? We're about 6 weeks away. Let's bring in Damon. Damon, what's happening? Time's moving too fast, my man.
Yeah. How you doing, Doug? Yeah, before you know it, football season will be here. Comes fast.
It comes fast, and of course, look, think about college football, the 12-game playoff. Notre Dame's going to be in the picture. A lot of teams in discussion coming up this season, right?
It's going to make things really interesting, like you mentioned that playoff game, or the 12-team playoff. I'm excited for the season. God, the only thing that's a bummer about the playoff is it's going to take away a little bit from the regular season, but it is what it is. I'm excited to get excited for it. I can't wait, really.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. Of course, I think the big thing is getting that first round bye. That's going to be really, really the huge focus, I think, as we get into later stages. That'll be the big discussion there. All right, but we can move to baseball tonight. Mets have been a hot team on the road here facing Rangers here. We see the Mets $1.21, total 8.5.
Yeah, this is a really good pitching matchup here in Arlington tonight. Mets are sending Luis Severino to the mound. Rangers going with Michael Lorenz, and Severino's 4-2 in the season, a 3.12 ERA. He's been unbeaten in his last 8 starts, and over his last 2 starts, he's allowed just a total of 2 earned runs in 14 innings pitched. Lorenzen, he's been just as good. He's got a 2.86 ERA in the season, and he's allowed 2 or fewer runs over his last 6 starts. And Lorenzen's also been pretty good against these Mets. In his career, he's a 2.29 lifetime ERA against New York. The problem, though, I think for Lorenzen in this one, and the rest of the Rangers, really, for that matter, they're facing a Mets team that's on fire right now. The Mets have won 6 in a row. They had 22 hits last night. And their 14-2 win over the Rangers. They've actually outscored their opponents 45-16 during their current 6-game win streak. Rangers, they're ice cold though right now. They're hitting just 194 over the last 10 games. They've lost 4 in a row and 9 in their last 13. If Severino should get into any trouble in this game, Diaz, Garrett, Nunez, they're all well rested and ready to go in that Mets bullpen. Lorenzen, he does not have that same type of luxury with the Rangers bullpen. They're one of the worst pens in the league. You and Alex just kind of touched on it. You have to look at kind of all facets here with baseball, and the Mets right now are clicking on all cylinders. I think these two teams are headed in opposite directions right now. I'm going to take the hot team in the Mets here in this game, Tony.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mets here, the hot team. Why not, right? The way they're hitting the baseball right now, and the way this Rangers team has really struggled at the plate, had some issues as well here in the bullpen. And again, it's starters don't go 8 or 9 anymore. Back in the day, when you go 8, hand it over to the closer, you'd feel good about handicapping that starting pitcher. But again, it's not that type of game anymore, right? These pitchers, these hitters work the count, and they're. There's been a lot of turnover also in the umpires. There's a lot of newer faces out there that we haven't seen. Usually these guys have been around the league 30 years when we were kids, and now they've retired, and now we're starting to see a lot of new faces out there at umpiring. Of course, a lot of them like to call strikes. They're not afraid.
Yeah, they want these guys swinging the bat out there. So, it's hot. The umpires are hot. They want to get in that cool air conditioning, so make them swing.
Yeah, no doubt. Make them swing here. And, of course, the Mets here are a team right now on the rise. And we're talking about these teams from these cold weather cities, right? We're talking about the Bostons. We're seeing rejuvenation from the Mets. And I'll go back to something. I remember there were a couple of Dodgers, Ron Say, Steve Garvey, and a few, not Garvey, there was another one in there who actually – Eric Karros, it was Karros, right? So they used to talk about how they love playing in LA, but when they got traded to an East Coast city or a cold weather city, it's just miserable for the first 2 months because you're playing in 40-degree temperatures, and they always seem to liked it better when we start getting into the summer months. And maybe this is some of these East Coast teams that played in miserable weather here early spring are now starting to really pick it up now as we get into the hotter months.
Yeah, when the weather's warmer, guys like to hit. I mean, you have the perfect example here in Philadelphia with Kyle Schwarber. For the first couple months of the season, he's always terrible. June comes around, and he catches on fire, and it's kind of going the same thing again for Schwarber. And I think, like you said, a lot's holding true here with some of these East Coast teams.
I've seen some of the East Coast teams pick it up here. Damian on the Mets, -121 here against the Rangers tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time. All right, Damian, let's take a look over at Pick Dog here for tonight's action. 15-game card from Major League Baseball here. We're now down to 14. We got the Cleveland game started here. We see good units in NHL. NHL up on the board here for Game 5. A few from the W. What do you have going on over at Pick Dog's Premium?
Yeah, we're coming off a good night last night, 3-0. We hit 2+ money winners there in baseball as well. Tonight I have 3 Major League Baseball plays. They are going to be going off soon, so a couple of them right before 7 o'clock, so you want to jump on board now. They're all packaged up in my Major League Baseball triple play. You can get my X Factor for just $19, Major League Baseball total of the day as well, and also have a play on the NHL Stanley Cup Finals game between Edmonton and Florida, so you can hop on board that, guys. Jump on board. as always, the best way to go is one of those long-term plans. Team me up with another one of these great cappers, and we'll make some money, guys.
That's right, guys. Get on board here with Damian Sosh over at Pick Dogs Prim. Long-term pass, the way to go. You see their 3-7 third day out sports pass and promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. All right, Damon, as always, great having you show. Have a great rest of the week. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, Tony. Have a good one.
As well, David Sosh here on the drive to. Let's continue here on the show, guys. Keep an eye on that chat pick of the day tonight. It's Oilers at Panthers. If you like the Oilers, the plus money there. A, B for the Panthers, C going over, D going under. That's a chat pick of the day. Right now, we've got a lot of Panthers here. 5 on the Panthers, 1 here on the Oilers. We got 1 here on the over the total here. Fernando coming in with this over. So keep these picks coming in. We got some puck lines here as well coming in on some of this Panthers. You guys you can check the chat there if you want to tally on some of those puck lines there. But we're getting some more coming in here. I think we did get another one here on the Oilers right now just coming in. So we've got another one on the Oilers. So 2 on the Oilers, 5 here on the Panthers, 2 to the over. And we finally, we got another one here late coming in here on the Panthers tonight. So 6-2 right now is that one. And that's where David Cleaner coming in with 1, so 7 now on that Panthers side. Let's continue here on the drive-thru. Up next, Tony Brown. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. We'll bring Tony in right now. Coverage here from Tony Brown here from Major League Baseball. See, we'll get him here in a second. Tony Brown, what's going on?
Tony T, what's going on out there?
Things going great. All right, here we go tonight. Major League Baseball, they had a close one last night, but the Braves will host the Tigers here. The Braves, $1.59, total of 9.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Braves, and I'm looking at the Braves on the run line. It's funny that you mentioned last night it was a close one because that was their first close win in 20 games. They have won 19. Their last 19 wins all came on the run line. Like, when the Braves beat you, they beat you. So they're 19-1 to the run line. The Tigers happen to keep it close, but I think that was just more of, things happen. The Braves are a much better team. Tigers got Mize on the mound tonight. He's not too bad. He has an ERA north of 4, almost 5. But when he goes on the road, it jumps up to 6 and almost 7. So on the road against one of the best hitting teams I've seen in a while, like I said, 19 straight winners with the on the run line until last night. So 19-1 in the last 20. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I know the games aren't played on paper, but these are one of the stats that can't be ignored, so we won't. Take the Braves, get a little plus money on that run line win, and that's the free play of the day today.
All right, Tony Brown's going run line here with the Braves. Lay the run in half, but good plus here, plus 127 against the Tigers team here with Casey Mize, who's had his struggles here, almost putting up a runner and a half. With the whip, 1.46 ERA at 4.43. And, of course, you're also dealing with a strikeout rate that's about 15%. And this is kind of the time of the year, Tony Brown, when I start to look at strikeout rates because we're starting to get into the summer months. These teams start to hit a lot better. And you're tossing up less than 20% strikeouts. And you give up a lot of contact this time of the year, you're going to get in trouble.
Right, and that's just in general. It gets worse for Mize on the road. His ERA jumps out to 6, and then the strikeout rate gets even lower. That's what it says, no place like home. And like I said, with the Braves winning 19 times on the run line, that's where it's coming from. They're not just jacking home runs. They're not like the home run leaders. They're putting hits on the board and then moving people across. So, yeah, not a good spot tonight for Mize and the Tigers, and that's why I like the Braves on the run line. I would have made it a premium pick, but I got 5 big premium picks on there, so I didn't want to overload. I was like, nothing better than giving a premium for the free today.
All right, Tony Brown, your thoughts here on this Dodger team? I thought there'd be a lot of runs scored last night. They get the win. Buehler's on the mound tonight. What are your thoughts here on Buehler coming back from two Tommy Johns?
See, I think this is just the fan talking to me. I think he'd be okay. Because if you told me anybody else was coming back off of 2 Tommy John surgeries, I'll be like, when are we going to send them back down to the minors? Or, you know what I mean? Like, those surgeries are tough. I mean, people come back from them, and every pitcher's had them. It's just part of the game or whatever. But 2 of them, man, it's going to be an uphill battle for him. But I think he's in a good position. With the pitching staff that we have, we're not leaning on him. He's not coming back in an ace role or anything right away. So if he is as healthy as they say, and shit, the surgeries are getting better than ever. You know what I mean? I remember growing up, an ACL surgery at Tommy John, you're out for damn near 2 seasons. Is coming back. Aaron Rodgers could have played last year. You know what I mean? So maybe he has, I'm not even maybe, he has millions of dollars, and the Dodgers have the best doctors, so I'm sure he had the best surgery he can have, and I mean, these are professional scouts and coaches and stuff. If they didn't think he was ready, they wouldn't bring him back. So I'm wishing him all the best. And of course, as a Dodger fan, I hope it works out.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers also they're going to be without Betts. Worst case scenario, about 2 months. We go into August 18th. Who knows what the Dodgers probably still sitting in first place. Probably will sit and probably still about 6+ games head in first place there without Mookie. But this is a team with a lot of depth around them, obviously.
Yeah, I think this is a fan of me talking, but I wanted the rule change. If you take a player out like Betts, you got to sit out until he comes off the IR. Like, these pitchers are too good, man. They're specialized. Like, you hit them in the fucking hand. That's unbelievable. You know what I mean? Like, it's I don't believe in coincidences. You know what I mean? You're paid to throw the ball millions of dollars. When you want to bean somebody in retaliation for doing some chinksy stuff, you guys do it at will. Like, that's an MVP. That's our leadoff player. He's the best player in baseball so far this year, damn near. And now he's out for 2 months. That's devastating. That's why, like, more than just his presence, like, we have depth. We can replace the bat in the lineup or whatever, but he's like the heart and soul of the team. You know what I mean? We just got Ohtani. He's the newcomer. Freddie Freeman came from Atlanta. He's been our guy for a while now. Like, he's the face of the Dodgers still, and so that's a big hit. Not to mention Muncy went out too. So injuries happen to all the teams. I'm glad they're happening now instead of later, and we'll be all healthy and ready to go by the playoffs.
You know, something always fazed me because I used to play baseball as a kid. We all did. We used to wear the batting gloves, right? And I always wondered why, because you're gripping on your fingers, right? I always wondered why they never put any protective plastic protective over your fingers, right? Because your fingers are exposed to the baseball, right? When you ever put on batting gloves, you know that there's no protectant to take down the fingers, but that has very little impact on your grip. I've always wondered why there was no protective plastic or anything on top of on top of your fingers on those batting gloves.
Right, and it's just the thinnest piece to be the difference between a bruised hand and a broken hand. You know what I mean? You don't need to put armor like Barry Bonds body armor, nothing like that. Just something slight. It won't affect the batters or whatever. And if it hits the barrier between before it breaks your hand, it just seems like common sense. But you see, they just put the things on the side of the helmet. They had leather helmets in the NFL at first. So I guess just with time comes innovation.
Yeah, I remember. I don't remember back in the Dodger days when who was it? Yeager that took a ball in his throat, and they started putting that flap on. Yeah. This is probably just before your time. Steve Yeager was a catcher for the Dodgers. He took a ball right here, right in his throat, right, and he had it right. Yeah. So after that happened, they invented that little flap underneath the chin. Remember that flap? You see that flap there? That came across because Yeager took a baseball right in the throat. But they need stuff for like I said, the lose. It's such a small, just hitting the hand or whatever. But 2 months for your leadoff hitter and MVP candidate, like. That's huge. In any other sport, it'll be almost over. But since baseball plays so long, it's not as devastating, but it's still big. Yeah, it's still big there. All right, Tony Brown tonight, Braves run line. This one starts at 7:20 Eastern time. All right, Tony Brown, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Baseball card. Still 14 games on the board as the Marlins St. Louis has begun. Action on the ice as well. A tuple from the WNBA. Coach Tony Brown having a great baseball year this year. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I have a huge card tonight. I rarely say this. These shows are all documented and stuff, so you guys can look at any of them. I'm always preaching 2 out of 3 to turn a profit. But tonight, I suggest sprinkle a little something on the parlay as well. I really love these picks. I rarely say that because, all picks, any way they can go. And I just want to win more than I lose. But tonight, I feel really, really good about my MLB triple play. If you bought one of my passes, I got an extra 2 bonus plays on you, a total and another MLB game. And of course, for only $19, I got my NHL Game 5 Stanley Cup pick. I had so much going on in baseball, I thought I'd give you guys that one for only $19, and it's a top tier 10-star premium play. You can get any of those individually, or you can bundle them up. Or like I said, if you grab those passes, you get stuff that I don't even have on sale, only for the people that get the pass. You can get the 3-day, the 30-day, or the full VIP year.
That's right, guys. You got to go with Tony Brown over at Pick.com. Great results in baseball. Got a lot of baseball here for the next 3+ months. Plus the postseason. That makes it 4+ months. So get on board with Tony Brown. Long-term pass is the way to go. Remember that promo code PICKIT. Check out. You'll save the 15% off. Everyone's documented now in WNBA. So you're going to start seeing WNBA up there right now. So we'll get through hockey, we'll get through NBA. WNBA will be more, if it hasn't been already. It will hit the spotlight, Tony Brown.
I cannot wait. Once the NBA is over, the NHL playoffs are wrapping up. Nothing but baseball and the WNBA ladies, man. Plenty of money to make and some exciting basketball to watch.
Yeah, I got to ask you this, Tony Brown, because you were around for the bad boy Pistons. Of course, they took the Lakers out. Remember that whole series. What are your thoughts here about kind of the Sky, their kind of rough tactics they're putting up there on the court? Does it remind you of those Pistons teams of 30 years ago?
Okay, so I'm gonna age myself a little bit, and I'm gonna tell a secret that nobody's ever heard. Like, I've been a Laker fan since I was, I'll say, about 11. But before that, from like 8 to 10, I was a Bad Boys Piston fan. I was not because of Isaiah Thomas or nothing like that. Bill Laimbeer. I used to see this dude just literally whack people. Like, it was not a basketball play or nothing. Just whack people. Like he was the captain of the team. I love them. Joe Dumars was shaking it up. So I was a Piston fan for a little while. So I'm totally biased. I think that the men are super soft. And then these women, if you're going to play in a men's game or like a contact game, you can't be crying. Like, these fouls these wouldn't even have been fouls in those Piston eras. You know what I mean? Yep. Common foul, if anything. They're giving flagrant twos and suspension. Like, get over yourself.
And it's not just been this year.
I think it's a soft league.
It's not this year. It's been going on for a long time. The WNBA very simulates 90s NBA basketball. That's how I look at it.
Right, exactly. Like I mean, I think who set Caitlin Clark up the most is the media. Yeah. I don't even think these girls are really mad at Caitlin Clark. I just think a lot of hardworking girls who's been here before, and now she's the face of the league. She has the biggest shoe deal ever. She's going to just save our league and all that. Like, okay, we're going to rough her up a little bit. But was that anything they didn't do to Michael Jordan? Was that anything they didn't do to Allen Iverson? You know what I mean? They're not just letting you take over, come in the paint and stuff like that. So I guess I'm just with the old school
rules. Like wrestling.
They're not trying to hurt her. They're just trying to rough her up a little bit.
It's like wrestling. Right? Some people want to take the villain role, and on camera they're going to play the villain role. It's kind of like heels versus the baby faces, right? But I think there's only one baby face in the WNBA. Everybody else is a villain.
And I want her to get mic'd up so bad so they can see that a lot of this stuff is retaliation. They say she's one of the slickest talkers and always talking trash, and you know what I mean, like, and no one's trying to hurt her. They're just, you know, you're going through your lumps. A lot of it ain't even about you being the best player. A lot of it is just being a rookie. You know how they treat rookies in every league.
Yep, no doubt about that. All right, Tony Brown, have yourself a great evening in Vegas, and we'll catch up with you again here in a couple days.
All right, man. I'll see you guys Tuesday. I always appreciate being here, and I'll see you next week.
You got it. Tony Brown here.
In a couple days, actually.
Couple days, Thursday. Yeah. Tony Brown here on the drive. Let's continue here on the show. As keep an eye on that chat pick of the day. Tonight it's the Oilers and Panthers. Oilers A, B for the Panthers, C the over, D for the under. Right now it's all Panthers. 8 on the Panthers side, 2 on the Oilers. We do have 3 to the over. Can't find an under yet. So keep these played. We got another Matt D coming in here on the Panthers side. So we're now up to 9-2. This is a runaway again. So cannot find an under, seen a lot of over. All right, let's continue here on the drive through. And it's now time to welcome in Shane Mickle. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. More baseball coverage here on the drive through. We'll bring Shane in a second. Shane, what's happening?
How's it going tonight, Tony?
It's going great. All right, here we go. Shane and MLB. Reds at the Pirates here. We see the Reds favor on the road, $1.21 with a total of 8.
Yeah, this one comes down basically to the pitching matchup for me. Bailey Falter's been fine. He really hasn't got a ton of run support in his last few games. He's been hit harder. Nick Lodo on the other side, 7-2 on the season. These games, giving up 6 total runs. And I think that happens again here. Those Pirates offense all season, I think they're 22nd in baseball in terms of runs per game. They've struggled to hit. It's going to be no different here against Lodo. I think he has a strong start, and I think the Reds are able to get to Falter early. This might not be a game where the Reds score 7-8 runs, but I think it's a game where it's only take 5. I think 4 or 5 gets the job done, especially with Lodo on the mound. I think that the Reds find success here, and I think this number is a steal. I really think this should be closer to minus 150 even on the road. I'll take the Reds here.
All right, we've got Shane going to take the Reds here at minus 123. This is a Reds team that I think they look to me to be the streaky type, right, where they get really hot and then they get really cold at the plate. But you got Lodolo. What can you argue the numbers here with a 7-2 mark, ERA 2.93, and of course, again, looking at starting pitch gives you, right, he gives you almost about 6 innings, 10 innings 10 starts, 58 and a third innings, so he's giving you close to 5 2/3 a start.
Yeah, and that helps too. He's not even when he struggles, he seems to at least go 5 innings, and that saves the wear and tear on the bullpen. We're not gonna have to rely on the Reds bullpen here much, but yeah, like you said, this is a Pirates team that has struggled to score, and I think that this is a Lodo when he struggled has gotten hit hard early. That's not going to happen here against the Pirates offense. They're going to let him settle right in, and then he's going to cruise. He's not really one that's going to go 7 or 8 innings. They seem to usually pull him after that 6 inning mark, but 6 innings would be enough for him here.
I'll tell you about the workload of this pitcher, man. In his starts, he's thrown 90 or more pitches. And you look at his last 3 starts, 90 pitches. Then his last start here, June 7th, 99. Then comes up his season high, 102 pitches against Cleveland. And they're effective.
Yeah,
He's been effective.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's been effective, and it's hard to bet. I think if the Reds were at home here, this is probably a -170 even with Falter, who's been fine on the other side. They'd be pretty big favorites. So I think on the road, you have to take the -120.
I think what's kind of bringing this line down is the fact that the Reds have really struggled this year against left-handed hitting pitchers here. 213. Then you got to ask your question: what type of quality pitcher is Bailey Falter? Does he fall within that? Where does he land when you put him on the landscape against all lefties this year?
Yeah, I mean he's fine. Like he's not, he's not terrible. He's not going to give. He's usually not giving up 6 or 7 runs, but for him to really compete here, he's going to have to probably go 6. And probably give up a run, and I just don't see that happening.
All right, here we go. Shane on the Reds, -123 here, -121 here against the Pirates. This one to start in a few minutes. All right, Shane, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Print for tonight's action. Of course, we got baseball on the board tonight. Still 14 games on the board. And I know a couple on WNBA where you've been red hot this year, and it's not by surprise because Shane has covered WNBA as a writer over at Pick Dog Sports Chat for some time. Also, single on the ice. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yeah, I'll continue to preach about the WNBA. Do not sleep on it. I know it's getting all the more attention now with Caitlin Clark and Angel recently. But this is a sport I followed that I've watched consistently for, basically my whole adult life. But I've been covering for the last 5 years with Pick Dogs. So the results are there. The results will speak for themselves. So that I have that play. I have one play up there, $29.99. I also have an NHL play, $29.99, or I have a sampler, which is my best WNBA, best NHL, best MLB, $39.99. Or hop on long term. I know the NBA season's over, but like Tony Brown was talking about, we still have NHL, we still have WNBA, and we still have MLB. So no better time to hop on that long term pass and we make some money together.
That's right, guys. Got to go to Shane Mickle over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the great results in the W. No better time to get on board with that long-term pass. Remember that 1-month pass will cover all the WNBA, MLB, and later the NHL playoffs from Shane for that period of time. And promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. All right, Shane, it's always great having your show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again in a couple of days. But let everybody know where we can find your written work over at Pick Dogs Sports Chat as you cover many sports, including the W.
Yeah, WNBA, MLB, NHL right now. We'll see, I guess, after a night if we're covering NHL anymore this season. But then Euro 2024 is also happening right now. I'm covering over that on Pick Dogs. So, and of course, UFC every weekend. And then daily WNBA and MLB fantasy articles on Sports Chat Place. So, all the videos are great. I watch them myself. But if you're looking for written work, make sure to check out Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place also.
That's right, guys. Check out Shane's written work. Find WNBA and more over at Pick Dog Sports Chat. All right, Shane, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again in a couple days.
Sounds good. Have a good night, everyone.
As well, Shane Mickle here on the drive through. Let's continue here on the show, guys. Keep an eye on that chat. Pick of the day, Oilers and Panthers. Right now, it is all Panthers here. 11 on the Panthers, 2 on the Oilers. So if you like the Oilers, it's letter A. B for the Panthers, C over, D under. We do have 3 on the over, no unders. We're still looking for our first under here. So guys, check it out here on the chat pick of the day. All right, let's continue here on the drive through as we got another one in here for the Panthers. Panthers gets another one that takes it up to 12-2. It has been pounding right now. All right, let's continue here on the drive through. Up next, we will have Wayne Scott. Catch him over at Pick Dodge. Big game coverage from Wayne. The big Orioles-Yankees showdown tonight. Everyone will be all eyes in this one. The Yankees with that good home record, the Orioles with that good road record. What something's going to give here. So we'll bring in Wayne right now as we got big game coverage tonight from Major League Baseball. So let's get him here in just a second here. 1 second. Where did we put Wayne at here? Let's see where I might have passed him here. Give me 1 second here on this switchboard. We'll find him. There he is. Wayne, what's going on?
Nothing much, Tony T. Everything solid on this end. Hope everything's going out good with you and Pick Dog family out there.
Absolutely. All right, here we go tonight. The big game coverage tonight, Yankees and Orioles. We see the Yankees $1.36, total of 9.
Yeah, as Tony T mentioned beforehand, this will be a fire game. Curious to definitely see who brings this one home, but all in all, the numbers are pointing to an over, but I'm on the opposite side. I like the under here. I think we have a pitcher's duel, and basically the bats are starting to cool down. As I said, the numbers do point to the over with Yankees 4-1 in their last 5 at home, and the Orioles 3-1-1 on their last 5 on the road. But Albert Suarez has been a beast for the Orioles. Competition in his last 5 when he has this 1.4 ERA, kind of middle of the pack, Atlanta, Toronto, and Rays, but you can't help who you play. You just go out there and play. He's been above solid in those outings. His road night splits are magnificent, and one reason why I love this under, he has to throw a home run in his last 4. Yankees, when they get cold, they tend to leave men on base. They hit doubles and home runs to me. They're not really a single chip away team. So the fact that he limits you in the home runs, I think that'll benefit for this under here. And on the other side, Nasty Nestor Cortez, we know he can be one of them pitchers that gives up 4 or 5, or he can go out there and give you 1 to 2 run, some solid, serviceable innings, and I think that's what we get here. That's when he plays his best pitching and his best baseball when he's at home and in his nice splits. That's where he's been superb. When it comes to the batting, Nasty Nestor is a lefty. Orioles batting lefties decent on the season. Batting lefties decent on the road, as Tony T said, hot road team. But in the last 5 to 10 games, they've been slipping up lately. Only batting 194 in their last 5 versus lefties and 205 in their last 10 versus lefties. On the other side of that, Yankees batting righties decent on the season, but in their last 10, 218, and in their last 5, 193. When you're batting like this against these type of pitchers, back behind solid bullpen, definitely from the Orioles. The Yankees bullpen has been solid on the season. They've been slipping in their last 10, but they've been facing stiff competition. KC, Dodgers, San Fran, all big hitting teams. So I understand why their ERA is going up in that bullpen a little bit. All that said, we got a total of 9, and I believe we stay under that total of 9 in this one.
All right, 9 in most books. You can find 8.5s and 9s, but do your shopping. You can grade Wayne on the 9 because there's enough books there with the 9. Yeah, again, you got 2 good bullpens going. One thing here I look at with this as well are teams against the division. And one thing that surprised me when I looked at this, well, it didn't really surprise me because there's some logic to it. The Yankees hitting just .215 against the division. Now, when you look at the budgets and how much these teams spend, maybe Baltimore in the past weren't the big budget team. Toronto, they may be, but your best scouts are assigned to the division. That's just the way it is. That's the way it works in all sports. And the Yankees against the division this year hitting just .215.
Yeah, struggling. And I think just the pitching overall in this division is getting better. It's mainly being led by bats with Austin and Toronto, and the Orioles bats heating up. But the pitching just seems to be getting better overall in this division. And besides that, I have no clue why it's getting much lower than that. But besides the pitching just getting better.
Yep, and of course tomorrow we know who returns for the Yankees. Cole. We'll see Cole coming back tomorrow. Often, an elbow issue. People were questioning, was it Tommy John? That's interesting to see how how he performs here, electing not to go, just to rest it.
Yeah, Cole's been solid, so I definitely a guy that people love to back. I back him in spots, but I'm curious to see how he comes back. I normally stay away from pitchers coming off injuries, but one thing that does do is bump everybody back, so you'll get some better pitching matchups. Not just looking at Cole hopping in, but the people sliding back into the rotations. But yeah, Tony T, appreciate you for bringing that up. But Cole, a solid piece for the Yankees. So him coming back will help them out a lot, regardless if he comes back on fire like the Cole we know, or comes back a little Luke Cole.
Yeah, they're probably expecting a little. They're probably hoping that Cortez can go a little deeper today. They may need some bullpen tomorrow. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Cole's on a pitch count, so they got to have to get a good outing out of Cortez tonight, not to throw the bullpen out of rhythm. Orioles, Yankees under 9, top of the hour. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, a lot of baseball on the board. Still 14 games on the board for Major League Baseball. Also up there, single on the ice. We have 2 from the W. Wayne enjoying a great year. Runs the unit leaders in Major League Baseball this year. 2,308 units of profit. What do you have going on over at Pick.com Premium?
Yeah, coming off a rough day yesterday, really went dog searching. Had a couple run games that just crushed me. Staying off the Cubs probably for the rest of the season. If you're a Cub backer, don't even look for me to be backing them. The Tigers got me letting Atlanta come back late. But enough with yesterday. Today, solid card. I have a nice 3-pack for you. I have my best bet. We have been rolling on that on the season. We're up about 12 games, wins over losses on that. I don't have the exact total amount on me, but I do have it. But yeah, I'm looking to hit that and continue to stay hot on that, and just continue to stay hot overall in the MLB. No WNBA tonight. Them lines look pretty right for me, so I stayed away from that.
All right, get on board with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dodge Premium. So you get results here from Wayne. 2,308 units of profit, all documented. So a little better time now to get on board with a long-term pass, that 1-month pass coverage of baseball for 30 days. Remainder of the NHL finals as well as the W. So get on board with Wayne Scott. All right, Wayne, it's always great having you show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow. But let everybody know we'll keep looking out for those boxing picks.
Yes, sir. Not a great card this weekend coming on, and that's normally like that in boxing. Once you have like a mega fight, the next week is probably pretty cold. But the week after that, we got Teofimo Lopez back in the ring, and Estrada versus Bam. That is an interesting fight, definitely for the lower class fight fans. They're a little lighter weight, but those are 2 extremely good fighters. We should have a good line on that. And I'll be looking forward to breaking that down and getting you guys a winner on that.
That's right. And just to note, the Tyson fight was moved to November because Tyson was dealing with some ulcer issue, right?
Yeah, and I don't know, man. Tyson seemed like kind of scared, like not really scared, but I don't know, like second guessing his decision against Paul, man. It's younger blood. Does he still want to fight? So you always got those questions in the back of your head. Definitely when you go that long without fighting, even if somebody as ferocious as Tyson, you still got those doubts in your mind when you haven't fought that long.
Yeah, that means you got to add 4 more months of training because the fight that's 4 more training time now added to this for Twain's preparation. Once he recovers from the ulcer issue, then he's got to go back and train again and get the weight back up. And when ulcers is a stomach issue, so the diets, you got to go up there and check on the diet. Usually, folks, you would think the diet's going to change a little bit. Stay away from the spice. That's the first thing that comes to mind, so we'll see how that rolls. All right, Wayne, have a great night, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, Tony T, as always, appreciate you for having me. Good luck with all your best out there, Pick Dog fam.
Got it. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show, guys. Keep an eye on this chat pick of the day. It's been all one way here, guys. It's been all the Panthers tonight, right? A for the Oilers, B for the Panthers, C over, D under. That's the chat pick of the day, and right now it is 13-2 right now in favor of the Panthers. 5 to the over. We do got a lot of over. We have yet to find an under. There's no under. I don't see Ramon in the chat today, so I guess there's no under. We won't until he votes. Right now it's 13 to the Panthers side. All right, let's continue here on the drive-through. Up next, let's go ahead and bring in Rod Zawacky. Coverage here on this Oilers game against the Panthers. You catch him over at Pick Dodge Print. Let's bring him in right now. Of course, if you missed it, we did the CFL opening line show yesterday with Rod, so you can check the Monday archive for that. Let's go ahead and bring Rod in. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much, Tony. Just getting ready. We're about hour and 15 minutes or so to puck drop. Get ready.
There we go.
Love to see everybody on the Panthers bandwagon.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I'm
like
over
it,
here
right?
on my little island all by myself. Look at
13 to 2. 13 to 2.
I'm not in a hurry to bet. It's up to $1.42 as well. So.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
13 to 2.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, 13 to 2 on the chat pick. Actually, we got another one. It's now 14 to 2. So we just got another one coming right now. So there's a lot of room on that island right now for the Oilers.
Oh, lots of room. Yep.
Lots of room, no doubt. All right, here we go, Rod. Panthers and Oilers. ABC has it. Panthers now up to $1.58 now. The total 5.5, but you'll be looking at this one a little differently.
Yeah, looking at this one a little differently. We're going to go something Pacers gets us paid in that first period. We see 9 goals in game number 4, and it happens. It was one of those things where the Oilers came out and it was like do or die, and well, guess what? They came and gave it their all and forced this game 5 back here in Florida. And this series has been a lot closer than people think. You look, what's been the total goals in this series? Well, Florida scored 12 goals. Guess what? The Oilers have scored 12 goals. If you would have told me that, I would have told you the series would be tied heading into this one. But the Oilers still with their back against the wall. And we're going to come out with their best effort. You look at Bobrovsky starting in goal here. And after he's given up 4+ goals in a playoff game, he's bounced back with a .943 save percentage in the game following one of those lopsided games. This happened. He had a bad day, and I expect a top-notch effort from Bobrovsky in this game tonight. I also expect a top-notch game from Skinner. You look when it comes late into this playoffs, Skinner has stepped up his game. He's 6-0 in these spots in games 5, 6, and 7 this year in the playoffs. Sub 2 goals against average. So what we're going here, we're going to take the under 1.5 goals here in that first period. In the first 4 games, we've seen this hit 3 out of those first 4 games, where we've only seen 1 goal in the first period. It was only that last one, as I said, and that was a blip. I'd throw that one out the window. The first 3 in the series, we've only seen 1 goal. Take the under 1.5 in the first period. It's going to be hard hitting, low scoring. This add to that chat pick of the day. If you were to go check out my video, I'll tell you, take the under 5.5. First to 3.
Got a first under. We got a first under there. All right, there we go. Rod here, Oilers, Panthers, first period under 1.5 here. Yeah, when you go back and look at the Panthers over the course of the past couple series, there's been a lot of 5.5s and a lot of unders on their side.
A lot of unders. A lot of 3-2s, right? 3-2,
Yeah.
3-2, 3-2, 3-2. Kind of expect a 3-2 again. Might sprinkle a little on 3-2 on both sides, and you should go out happy. It's just avoid an empty netter late, and you're good. Which is what I think you get.
You know, we saw teams. Obviously, the whole thing is when a team gets really blown out, they're tough to bet against the second time out. How do you factor this in this situation where Panthers come off a humiliating loss? The Oilers again down 3-1 now. They're also all going to be facing elimination the rest of the way as long as they keep playing. How do you look at it this way? Does Panthers go through a film session? They see they got pounded. They're going to have to really withstand that push in that first period by the Panthers here. How do you see the Oilers responding here? Do you look at the Oilers with a little chip on their shoulder, say, "Hey, we know we can beat you down. We're not. Give us your best." How do you see this? How do you see it rolling here after that 8-1 pounding?
And the Oilers have taken it all season long. One game, the next game up. That's all it's been. One game at a time. And as they said, you take this one game at a time. It's your back's against the wall. You're not out of it, but you got to win one, and that's all it takes. Win another one here and drag the Panthers back to Alberta. Like many of these Oilers definitely still have the belief. Ever since Coach Knobloch has come into the coaching reins behind the Oilers bench. The Oilers have had a few 3-game losing streaks And guess what? They bounced back in all of them. They followed up a 3-game losing streak with a game winning streak, an 8-game winning streak, and a 16-game winning streak. So the Oilers are no slouches to being back up against the wall here. They know they're going to get the best effort in this game from the Florida Panthers. Because Florida doesn't want to go back. The Kachuk family is going to go broke, having to take the whole family back, and the Oilers would nothing more than to see the Panthers have to get on a flight to come back.
Oh yeah, see that this is where it gets interesting, right? Because now we get into the single games and we have that long flight, right? So now there will be travel after Game 4. There is travel after every game now, as long as it goes here. So if we go to a Game 7, there'll be like the 4 games with 4 airplane trips.
Exactly, right? We still got it. If the Oilers win this one, we go back. We play again Friday night, and that's another 4,000 kilometer trip across from all the way from Florida back up to Edmonton. It's a long flight. So the Oilers look at the one game. You can't look at that last game that it was 8-1. It is what it is. That's in your rearview mirror. You're not focused on this game, and they come in fresh. I wish that we had Evander Kane dishing out some hits, but hey, injury is along the way. Next man up. So far, we've seen it with the Oilers. Yeah, and their backs against the wall. Guess what? They've come to play. In that third period, they popped 2 and made it 4-3, made it close. Not quite enough, but you look at the last 4, they've scored 10 goals in 4 periods.
That's right.
The Oilers.
Yep.
They're not going to go quietly into the night, that's for sure. This is going to be a heck of a hockey game. Tune in.
Yeah,
great game.
Should be a great one. All right, Rod here. Oilers Panthers first period under 1.5. You can figure out the rest in Rod's pictures in Rod's screen. All right, Rod. We're hitting the witching hour. Let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Print for nice action. We'll get some bonus here in a second. MLB on the board. We still have about 12 games on the board tonight. Also action on the ice. 2 from the W. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
And over at Pick Dogs Premium, I had a couple MLB go off already, so I reconstituted the package. I still got a nice tackle the book Tuesday that includes 2 MLB plays who went 3-0 yesterday in the MLB. Looking to continue that success here on Tuesday. Also, my $19 MLB bookie home runs included in that, and that thing's been on fire. 11-4 the last 15 on it. You can scoop up my top play in the MLB singly, or as many of the cappers before me have definitely enumerated to you that, hey, the long-term pass is the way to go. Grab a 3-day, grab a 7-day, grab a 30-day. Join me. We still got lots of CFL, WNBA. This NHL game could definitely go a little more in the season as well. So lots of MLB, lots of way to make some money. Join me as we continue to crush the books.
Crush the books with Ron Zawacky over at Pick Dogs Premium. Get on board with that long-term pass. Promo code PICK at checkout will save you 15% off. All right, in just a few minutes here, Sparks and Sun go head-to-head. The Sun going to be laying about 13.5 in this one.
Yeah, and the Sparks, I just don't trust the Sparks, so I like the over here. I think we see a whole lot of people betting this under, going the Sparks offense isn't so good. But you need to score about 70-something at best. I think it's about 153.5 is where I see this. So if the Sparks can get to 70 is the number, I think the Suns going to do the rest of the heavy lifting. The Suns have won 10 straight, I believe, against the Sparks, but not by this many. This is close. This is you might want to just the Sparks to get back to recover, but I like the over as the play. I think we can get over this 153.5. This total's come down a lot, and I think it's come down too far now. I think the over.
All right, the Liberty just left Las Vegas. Winners. As a dog. Now
Winners.
They're going to the Mercury now. They celebrate a little bit there in Vegas, but they're going to be facing the Mercury laying 5 on the road, total 170.5.
Yeah, and you look at this Mercury team, and I'm not laying it with the Mercury. I don't believe in them here. Didn't I say? Remember, you don't want to be cruising anything with the Mercury right now. They haven't been good. They have been good at home. Yeah, give them that this season. They have been good at home. But this is a New York team that made the finals last season. They are a solid WNBA team. And you look the last 4 head-to-head, they have won them all. Recently, sure, it was 81-78. New York got the win in New York. So I think people are expecting it's going to be a little bit closer and jumped on the Mercury here. Not this guy. I think the New York Liberty here to beat up on the Mercury and get the win here in this one.
All right, there you go.
I just don't trust the Mercury defense. No. You got to remember that defense is still giving up 85-plus points a game. I don't trust it. And this Liberty team, We know they can score 85 plus points a game. Give me the liberty in this one.
All right. Also, Rod, any other bonuses for everybody on the ice? Any goal scorers or you got anything?
For me, a goal scorer, I shared out a lot on social media today was Zach Hyman. We've got to get one of those garbage goals. It's one of those games that the puck just ends up right at his feet and he just goes boop and pops it in. I think Zach Hyman, anytime goal for the Oilers tonight.
There you go from Rod Zawacky. All right, Rod, have yourself a great evening. Of course, if there is a Game 6, there will be a video series for Rod.
Definitely, if there is a Game 6, I'll definitely you'll be able to check out that video. But if you haven't, then this is the end of the line for the hockey this season. Appreciate everybody that tuned into those hockey videos. It's a long season. Definitely a lot of people have joined me, so definitely appreciate everybody that has. I think we gotta go.
Let's go. Another one. Let's go. Another one.
Let's go!
All right, there. All right, Rod. That's right, guys. Like, subscribe, and make sure you get those video series. All right, Have a great night, and we'll catch up with you again on tomorrow's show.
Have a good night, Tony. Hopefully I'm happy and not sad
yes.
tomorrow.
Yes. I've had to go through that with Jay. I had to go with that with Jay.
Right? You got it, right? Oh, it's tough. Especially when you're a diehard. You've been following a team for so long. You got to think that I've been following the Oilers 43 years. 43 seasons I've been an Edmonton Oilers fan. It's a long time.
Very long time. Very long time.
I've been married to the Oilers longer than I've been married.
Oh, my goodness. Way Rod puts things. All right, Rod. Have a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
Have yourself a good one, everybody. Get it. Crush the books.
Get it. Crush the books. Rod Zawacky here on the drive-thru. All right, let's continue on. We're going to close out this chat. Today it has been one-sided here between the Oilers and Panthers. Oilers was A, B for the Panthers, C over, D under. It's 14-2 on the side of the Oilers. Rod threw in the under. I think Rod is the only one there with the under tonight. He didn't put into the chat, but he said on the air. All right, so we're going to close this one out. It is unanimous here, pretty much 14-2. Panthers, the chat pick of the day. All right, let's get to the recap, guys. We'll recap the plays, and then we'll get to my pick here in just a second. Recapping: Red Sox for Alex, Mets for Damian, Tony Brown, Braves run line, Reds for Shane, the Orioles, Yankees under 9 for Wayne. Oilers, Panthers, first period under 1.5 for Rod. I'll be Rays, Twins over 8.5. The one I like the most. Which one do I like the most here? Go with Damon here on the. Let me double check that. I want to double check that one here. Oh, that Red Sox line really moved up here. Let me take a look here. On I think he went Mets. I'll go with him on the Mets. Yeah, Mets is the way to go. There you go. Mets is the one I like the most. All right, guys. Now it's time to go ahead and put your show pick in the chat, and we'll read it off here at the end of the show. All right, let's get to my game here. It's going to be Rays and Twins tonight. And the way we're going on this one will be on the over 8.5. We're looking at some warm temperatures. Although there was a shot of rain there in Minnesota tonight. We're looking at 83 degrees with the wind blowing out in Minnesota. Boy, Minnesota's really hitting that ball very well. Ball's been carrying in that ballpark of late in Minnesota if you watch some of their games. They're looking over. It's that time of the year where I'm going to start looking at some overs. Look at Minnesota over their past 7 games, putting up 7.5 runs a game, hitting .356. It's going to be hot. On the road, the Rays are putting up 4 runs a game, and they're 30 on the road. Lopez, 31-17 to the over in his 9 games this season. We'll go over the total here with Rays and the Twins. So, guys, check out Pick Dogs Premium. I have a best bet on the board right now for baseball as well as a 3-pack. So get on board with me. Also, get on board with those long-term passes. My 3 December $30 sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Just like when you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout will save you that 15% off. All right. So now is the time, guys, to get your show picks in there. That's going to do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru. We'll be back again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. Bring in our cappers from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. We'll give out our plays for you in real time. Remember to always get started with that morning show. We're live here during the week, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Mitch, we got Chris, we got Jay, we got also the video series, Mitch's 7 Picks in 5 Minutes. His main show is roundtable discussion with the professionals. Also on tap, we've got, Chris around the league if there's another game. Also with video series from Brian Bittler with his contrarian angles there, contrarian plays. We also have Wayne's boxing. If there's another game, we'll have Rod with his NHL A to Z. And, of course, Ron Romanelli with his MLB rundown. Of course, we do have the Nerfies, Yerfies here from Brad, as well as his parlay video shorts from Jovan. Also, Kirk coming with the Soccer with Goran, as well as his MLB Totals video series. Of course, Costi, Sharp Trading Plays, Big Al Morty, All Access Plays, as well as Against the Public Betting from Dana Lane. All right, that's going to do it for the show tonight, guys. Let's take a look at the show picks. Bo comes in with Mercury plus 5.5. Blake likes Mets run line, Giants run line. I'm sorry, do that again. Mets money line, Giants money line, Royals money line for Blake. What else we have here? He likes Yankees run line. Mets, he's got the Jays over. Florida, I guess we're looking at some baseball here. Some college baseball. Let's see here what else we've got here from the show picks. Ron Hahn liking the Orioles tonight. Yankees, Orioles, over 8.5 for Alexander Lamberts. And let's see if we've got another show pick here. Just 1 second. Show pick for Ron Crawford will be Milwaukee. Angelo likes Orioles, Red Sox, Panthers, money line. Mercury plus 5.5 for David Cleaner. Oilers here, Eric Rosas. David Banner likes the Panthers in all caps. In all caps, really likes them. Let's see here. All right, this would be okay. Snack a Lady likes Celtics to repeat plus 260 from Snack a Lady. Celtics to repeat as champions plus 260. All right. I think that's going to do it here. Sox for Days likes the Red Sox, Jack Staley. A last call on your show picks before we close it out. All right, we got them all in. That's going to do it. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. Wake up out of guys.